Joe Goldberg from You is definitely one of the creepiest people on Netflix. He's a stalker, a murderer, a liar, and all around just bad news. Yet a lot of people still find him oddly compelling. And a lot of the audience that watches the series You actually likes Joe. I think in a lot of circumstances, he's almost seen as quite of a hero, and fans love him over social media. So what makes Joe such an intriguing character, and on paper he's such a bad person? I want to break down a few reasons why I think people love Joe. And I think there's a few reasons for this. So the first one is that he's actually a really intelligent person. He's not just book smart, but he's very resourceful in high intensity situations. And we see this throughout all 4 seasons of You. Intelligence is a quality in a person that is kind of admirable. And Joe definitely is intelligent in a lot of ways. We know this because the way You is filmed is we see his thought processes in a lot of situations as he's the narrator of the series. Also, his intelligence comes through as he's so articulate. He's very good at being in the room, speaking to people, persuading people, and as a whole is a very capable individual. This is what makes Joe so interesting as a character, in my opinion. Yes, he's a stalker, a murderer, and all these things, but the only reason he's managed to get away with everything he's done is because he's so intelligent. The next reason why I think people like him, specifically girls, is because he's actually really romantic. Yes, he's a stalker, a perv, whatever you want to classify him, but that all comes down to the fact that he's in love with being in love. And his obsession over his girls ultimately comes from the place of him wanting to be in love and be in a relationship and feel love. Not just that, but coupled with that, he does have an element of gentlemanliness to him, which is quite rare and is a very admirable quality. Obviously, he's got a lot of bad tendencies that go with that, but he is overall a very romantic person. The third thing why I think people like him so much is that he actually kills people that are worse than him. Now, obviously, killing in all types of shapes and sizes is wrong, but if you look at the people he actually kills across all the series, a lot of the times they're not good people. There is obviously the odd exception where he's killed someone by accident or whatnot, but even in the first series, if you look, he kills Benji and Peach, and they're pretty dislikable people. Obviously, he kills Gwen at the end of the first series, who is a likable person, and definitely isn't a bad person. But even in series 2, he kills a paedophile. So even though the actions he is doing are wrong, and sometimes we do feel like they're very undeserved, he tends to kill people that are either seen as bad people or just generally dislikable people. And that definitely makes him seem more of an anti-hero. A few other couple reasons why I think people like him is that he cares about people in a kind of twisted way. Yes, he's obsessed, but a lot of times he does try and better people, and he does have a genuine caring towards people where he wants what's best for people. And not just care about people, but he cares about himself. He knows what he's doing is bad and generally self-aware and wants to improve himself, which is also quite an admirable quality. Even though this doesn't always go to plan, in fact it pretty much never goes to plan, but the intention is there to improve his ways and be a better person for himself and others. Now the last one is a bit of a controversial one, but I think a lot of people can almost relate to Joe in a way. Obviously, he's an extremist in terms of his obsessiveness with people and he kills people, so not in that sense, but I think a lot of people have been in a situation where they've wanted someone, so they've tried to pursue them, or they've broken up with someone and they've checked their social media. So he has a very similar qualities, but just extremely dumbed down. And I think we can understand Joe. We learn a lot about him as a character, and we've seen his flashbacks. And even though he's such a bad, twisted person, we kind of understand him and what we see from him humanised in a way to not make his actions justifiable, but definitely understandable from an audience perspective. And the last thing, which isn't really important, but I think the acting on this character is amazing as well, and the way the actor plays Joe is just top quality, and I am really looking forward to season 5. But I see this a lot in different films where there is on paper a bad person that does bad things, but as an audience it's been set up so we are geared to like that person, and I think that's the case in this scenario. What do you guys think about this character, and do you guys like him or do you disagree with any of the points that I've mentioned?